When I was younger, I loved watching Gravity Falls, and as an adult, I still kinda do. But I was shocked when I grew up and found out that some people have never watched the show. I'm your host, Makayla, and today I'll be telling you the top 10 scariest Gravity Falls episodes. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, but without further ado, let's get started. Starting off this countdown at number 10, The Inconveniencing. This was Gravity Falls' first attempt to become menacing, and still be child-friendly towards its audience. For me, I actually really like this episode. Dipper and Wendy established a bond, with Dipper creating a really nice character arc, all while him, Mabel, and Wendy's friends accidentally getting some ghosts angry by gate crashing at their convenience store. This leads to really amazing scenes with spooky images and music, stakes to the story, and a surprise twist laugh at the end. The whole build up to when the ghost finally appears is really creepy, but it picks up a lot when you see Mabel being lifted up in the air and her eyes glowing as she talks just like Kevin Michael Richardson. That's when everything got real. This is the first time we actually see anyone get possessed in the show ever. When watching that scene, it creeped me out, but it also really surprised me too, with where the show is going to go and all. Given that part where Mabel turns her head the other way, and much a parody to The Exorcist, it was really creepy yet really cool. Number 9, Northwest Mansion Mystery. Here, Dipper and the gang are invited to Northwest's party at their mansion, filled with a horrifying ghost seeking revenge, creepy wooden lifeless people, and terrifying sights of all kinds. This is a very dark Gravity Falls episode. While Mabel, Candy, and Grenda try to gain the attention of one boy, Dipper and Pacifica investigate the haunted tremors that rock the manor. In diving in, they discover a horrible secret that leads Pacifica to take a drastic turn. The twist here is incredibly profound and socially relevant, and surprisingly, Dipper and Pacifica's tandem pay off the romantic hints. And the best thing about this is it's not even focused on the main character. The real arc is with Pacifica, who turns from being one of the most annoying characters on the show to one of the best. Even with all its scary sights, it's still a really fun episode to watch. Number 8, Scarioki. Despite decking them out in Mystery Shack swag, the arrival of 2 government agents investigating the strange happenings in Gravity Falls does more to establish the season's arc than catalyze the episode's action. And the same can be said of Dipper's belief that, quote, there's something huge going on right under our noses. By the end of Scarioki though, it's an arguable point, because its second half set at the Mystery Shack's grand reopening party, organized by Mabel, is overstuffed with joys large and small. There's Wendy saying of a black light glowing on her teeth, it's like a crime scene in my mouth. There's a very stylish dressed Stan fighting off a zombie horde, yelling, the only wrinkly monster who harasses my family is me. And last but certainly not least, there's Mabel getting her reluctant brother and uncle to sing the perfect 3-part harmony that is Zombie's sole weakness. The contrast of the tween girl pop hit and a bunch of exploding zombie skulls is just pure bliss. Number 7, Not What He Seems. Is this the part where one of us faints? As Mabel's closing question suggests, Not What He Seems sends Gravity Falls' longest running mystery into overdrive, revealing both who wrote the journals and what Stan's doomsday device is for. Before the episode's big finale though, it's a heartfelt family trustfall wrapped in a prison break adventure sprinkled with pop culture allusions, and series and jokes. Among the highlights are a terrific dunk on Ashton Kutcher and Punked and Zeus's laugh line. It's the final countdown just like they always sung about. But first among equals is Mabel securing her and Dipper's release from government custody after Stan is arrested, by writing several times as overrated in the dirt on a Hummer's window, so enraging a beefy trucker, and several times fan, that he drives him off the road. Number 6, A Tale of Two Stans. By the end of this series' second season, the truly best episode really starts to pile up. Some are better than A Tale of Two Stans, but few are more wrenching. Just the pathos of the episode, seeing the long line of bad choices and worse luck that Stan and Ford both make from high school on, that pushes them further and further apart from one another, and deeper into the most self-defeatingly toxic parts of himself. It's just absolutely gutting. That Stan was revealing the secrets of his past and the depth of Ford's paranormal experimentation to the twins while under investigation from the government agency that has been trying to trap Stan in the act of dimensional tampering the whole season gives the Pine brothers' harrowing history both a chance to breathe and some much needed moments of comic relief. But that relief isn't a cure. The brothers do not come out on the other end forgiving each other. Number 5, Society of the Blind Eye. In this season 2 episode, wanting to retrace the author of Journal 3, Dipper and Mabel, along with Wendy and Zeus, track down Old Man McGucket to investigate. However, their search takes a drastic turn when Lazy Susan is kidnapped after a gnome sighting by a group of people in red cloaks. It sets in motion one of the series' most secretly ambitious episodes, first morphing into a study of Old Man McGucket, and then to an unsettling lesson about the uses of memory. The B-plot in which Mabel frets over her failed summer romances. I just don't get it, Wendy. I hug a lot, I can burp the alphabet, I have scratch and sniff clothing, why does everybody leave me? As it turns out, the Society of the Blind Eye has been erasing the townspeople memories of supernatural occurrences, using a machine that McGucket, once a scientist, developed and used on himself. Watching the man's mind and life come undone as his reel of memories unpools on screen is one of the more unsettling sequences in the show, though it speaks to the importance of even our worst memories in creating our sense of self. Now that I've seen what happened, he assures Mabel, I can begin to put myself together again. A stark portrayal of cult society The Blind Eye is a leap forward in the series' main arc of Grunkle Stan's hidden plot. Number 4, Headhunters. The reopening of Gravity Falls Wax Museum, followed by the execution of Mabel's glittering sculpture of Stan tees up the raft, of humorous pulp culture references that landed Headhunters on this list. The central mystery is pretty low stakes compared to later installments, but the episode sees Gravity Falls begin to stretch its comic legs. There's a brilliant sight laugh involving Dipper and Mabel's crayon and glitter fake IDs, for which they pose as Sir Dipping Sauce and Lady Mabelton, to get into a dive bar. Not to mention when entering the museum, Stan finds the blinds left open, and whacks Abraham Lincoln in a puddle on the floor. Wax John Wilkes Booth, he says, I'm looking in your direction. Number 3, Into the Bunker. This is the second episode in season 2, and it was excellent. There are 2 scenes with a shapeshifter that really caught my eye as a really creepy moment. This first one was when he revealed himself shaped as a person. At first we think it might be the author of the book, but it is later revealed to be a phony. He turns his head around, the body screams, runs up the wall, and is so disturbing. The second one was after the shapeshifter had been thrown into the freezer machine. As it slowly starts freezing him, he threatens Dipper. He tells him once he meets the author and learns who it is, it'll be too much for him. One thing that really sells this is the performance. The voice actor of this role is Mark Hillman, and he was once the voice of the Joker in the Batman animated series. And when Zeus said good luck sleeping tonight, that really sets it in for you as the watcher, hinting that you probably will have issues sleeping after watching that episode. Number 2, Weirdmageddon Escape from Reality. Weirdmageddon was a great 3-parter, and I definitely liked the first and the third the most, but in the second I appreciated how we got to see Dipper and Mabel's friendship come back together. But in between is when Dipper realizes how evil Mabelland really is. When Dipper believes he's having a moment with Wendy, he realizes it's a trick that Mabelland is playing on him. And once he stated out loud that she isn't the real Wendy, it then becomes a bunch of bugs, taking a very creepy and weird turn. As well as the entire atmosphere going dark, Dipper looks at the tree behind him, and it gets so creepy and disturbing, and then everyone's saying, we are watching you, we are watching you. A lot of the imagery from Weirdmageddon episodes are already creepy enough with the atmosphere alone. Part 1 and Part 3 are gruesome as well, with the dreary backgrounds and the really creepy characters, which are Bill's friends. But in that episode, that scene stands out the most as very dark and disturbing when tapping into Bill's true power, and what he wants to do to reshape the world as his playpen, as twisted and sick as he wants it to be. Now coming in at number 1, Summerween. Of course, because Gravity Falls has a spooky vibe, so they have to have a Halloween episode, leading to an awesome story about Dipper, Mabel, and their friends trying to collect enough candy. The story focuses mainly on Dipper building an ark, but we also see Mabel's insecurities about growing up and understanding between them as the episode progresses. The scariest moment of the entire episode is when the Summerween trickster is on screen. He may not have powers, but his physicality makes him resemble a creature from Spirited Away named No Face. He is obsessed with getting the children to get him candy, and if they don't, he will eat them like no one ate him, which is weird, but despite this odd motivation, though his backstory does come up very frightening into how he was designed and everything. But that is everything. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.